What's up guys, macadii here bringing the first battle of the IEP round 2 against Saffron Swagger. Now, I must admit with this guy's team, I was really scared of that Medicham. If that guy had high jump kick, it would literally run through my whole team. So I made sure to run Protect on both Quagsire and Heatran, just to make sure that I could sort of bait him out and go for that. I also made sure I had some faster mons, which, while they may not have a chance to KO, still will be able to outspeed and do a really decent amount of damage, especially with the Latios as well. In terms of other threats, he did have a few other sets, especially that Dragonite and also that Garchomp. Yeah, he had a whole load of threats, I must admit. So I was a little bit worried for this, but I did quite a lot of prep for this one. So I'll just run through the battle. That's probably the easiest thing to do. But as I said, main reason for running Chinchino, because I knew it had Sash Breloom. While I won't be able to outspeed that, if he decides to bring it in, I can always break through that Sash straight away. And I can outspeed a lot of things, and I netted a few key KOs. I think like defensive Sigilyph, if I remember rightly, I could KO that. I could KO Dragonite as well, because obviously the first hit hits the multi-scale, and the rest of them does do enough to actually KO bulky Dragonite, if I remember rightly. So that was my main reason for running that. And then I had Unaware Quagsire and then the Venatran Core as well. So if we start off with the battle, so I led off with Zipper here because it was normally a really good lead. Now I knew for a fact that he was normally bringing this as a Scarf Chomp set, so I decided it wasn't worth staying with Zipper. I knew I could, I think I could KO with HP Ice. I had E-Belt, but I decided not to risk it, so I ended up going out into the Quagsire, as he ends up going for the EQ here, which does a decent amount of damage, and it does reveal to me that he is most likely Scarf Chomp here. So he goes out into the Fortress here, as we get a Toxic, which does end up missing, but that doesn't make any difference really, because obviously Steel types and everything. So I end up going out into the Heatran, as he sets up his own rocks. From here, I did end up predicting the switch, if I remember rightly, out into his Garchomp, so I just went for the Lava Plume, fishing for the burn, as you guys can see from there, and I do manage to get the burn here, which makes a huge amount of difference, because I can then go out. While Quagsire originally does wall it, it does completely wall it now, so I've got rid of his Scarfer, which is absolutely brilliant. So I am able to sort of skip, sort of just literally stall this this guy out from here, so healing up and everything like that continually while he's just going for outrages, and letting him just go down to burn. So he ends up getting confused here, and actually ends up switching out here into the Fortress, as I do go for the Scald here, and I snag another burn, which is absolutely brilliant. So I've got residual damage off on this Fortress as well. I go out into the Heatran, and this is where it made a huge amount of difference, because he goes to the EQ, and that was a real surprise for me, I must admit. I think ages and ages ago I was thinking about whether Fortress did get EQ or not, but yeah, that was an excellent play on his part. I do end up going for the Protect here, as he goes for the Fake Out, which I wasn't sure whether he would be going for that or not, so he does end up revealing the Drain Punch. Now, I must admit, I was still a little bit scared of this guy. He does end up going out into the Sigilyph, as I go for the Scald here, and unfortunately I don't KO him, putting myself in a really tricky position. So I end up going out into Zipper, expecting him to go for the Energy Ball, which he does, and I knew for a fact I could live that. He goes out into the Garchomp here, as I go for the HP Ice, predicting the switch out into the Garchomp, and also taking that out. He goes out into the Medicham here, as I let Zipper go down to the Fake Out, as this was a really key turn in this battle, because I calced on the spoken calculator that I'd be able to KO this Medicham from full with Fabulous. But what I didn't realise is that it had Choice Band rather than Life Orb. So as you guys will see, unfortunately I fall short right here, which was absolutely terrible, because I end up losing Fabulous right here to a Drain Punch. And the other real misplay I did was I still assumed that he had high jump kick, and I was absolutely terrified of that, which is why I wasn't as keen to send out Quagsire. I end up going out into Deltas, because I knew I could revenge kill this guy, so I go for the Side Shock, getting that KO right there. But I knew for a fact he still had the Breloom. This was a major misplay on my part. I really should have got damage off on this guy, because I knew I could pretty much wall him, but I did kind of want to keep Latios around as well. So I go for the Sludge Bomb, just narrowly missing the KO here. I end up having to stay in with Venusaur, because unfortunately I knew Deltos dies to a Psyshock. Quagsire he had the Energy Ball for, and I needed something quick to outspeed that Breloom. And also, as I said, if I just lose the Latios, I then have to just come back out into Venusaur. So this is the only real play that I could make. He goes out into the Dragonite here, and unfortunately I do have to let Venusaur go down because I had no opportunity to heal up. So I go out into the Quagsire here, knowing I can wall this guy, but he's not fussed at all because, as I said, he has the Sash Breloom in the wings here. So, while getting that Lava Plume off on that Garchomp was really, really useful, I should have really used that opportunity to set up my rocks, but then I guess he would still have the chance to get that back. So I end up stalling him out here. We're just going to just keep skipping here because it's very, yeah, it just keeps going. And he ends up managing to KO me with the Breloom, with the Bullet Seed. And from here, he makes an interesting play because I go for the Psyshock, and he does end up just going for the Power-Up Punch, which, if he hadn't have got the crit, I had a chance to live, which was, as I said, an interesting play on his part. So I'm not sure if he had access to Mach Punch as well. I'd probably assume he does. But yeah, as I said, very, very interesting play on his part. But unfortunately, I did lose this one. I did make quite, a couple of mistakes there, which I do need to make sure I don't repeat. What this has also made me realise is I do need, as you guys have suggested in the draft video, I do really need some things that can deal with psychic types. So what I've actually done is, as of next week, I've drafted, I've replaced Toxicroak with Umbreon. That was the first one. And then I've also replaced Licky because it wasn't doing anything, with Dusclops. And that as a core is an absolutely crazy core because they can both sort of handle each other's weaknesses incredibly well. And really lets me handle more psychic types. I don't have to run the Venatran core every single time. I can actually run that core instead. So it just makes it a little bit more interesting, and I have a lot more support from there because I've now got Heal Bell and Wishes and things like that. So that was my main reason. But for the next battle, I still have the original setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I know we did end up losing this one, which was a shame. But luckily, the differential was not much at all. It was only one difference. So in terms of like the score rankings, things like that for that, it wasn't too bad. He didn't get away with a 6-0 or something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will see you guys at the next one. Caddy out.